for asking that question. It was a very important one. I'm going to ask you this polling question one more time, and I appreciate your feedback. Last week I voted to ban gender-selective abortions, which means prohibiting mothers from aborting babies based on the child's gender. I'd like to know if you would have supported that same practice to ban it as well. Press 1 on your keypad for yes, press 2 for no. Let's go to the next call. It's the Farrer family down in Wintersville. How are you?
Good evening, Bill. Very good, thank you. Bill, we have an IT company in revitalized downtown Steubenville. You've actually visited our firm and had the pleasure to host you there a couple of times.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, you're speaking of things that are significantly poignant because here we are, we have an IT company. We're not on the cutting edge of drilling technology. We don't host drivers. We don't have the Marcellus and Utica shale business boom in our industry yet. That trickle-down effect is really what we're waiting to see happen. But in the meantime, as we're waiting for that, this healthcare bill is killing the opportunities that we have to employ young people who are just coming out of college, who are capable of working, who want to stay local, who would love to work here in Steubenville and Jefferson County. And this health bill is just killing all opportunities that we have to bring in people to ramp up to serve the Marcellus and Utica shale industry. So my question is actually probably several-fold, but first, how do you in the federal government and in the state government, how do we attract and bring in that next wave of the Marcellus shale business, that service provider, second level that's not directly front line on the drill rig? And secondarily, how can we as small business assist Washington to repeal this health care act that is going to cripple our ability to offer good, gainful employment to young Americans?
You bet. Hey, let me answer the second question first. This November, you're going to have a clear choice between the big government, big spending, higher taxes, government health care takeover kind of policies. You're going to have a clear choice. So it's very, very important that you vote your principles along those lines in November. That's what you can do to make sure that we get the kind of representation in Washington that will take action on these issues. We have voted at least 26 times, maybe even more by this point, to repeal all or part of the president's health care law. But the legislation, like everything else that we pass, sitting stacked up like cordwood in the United States Senate. So we've got to have a change of mindset among our nation's leaders in the Senate and in the White House if we want to change that health care law. Now, we don't know what the Supreme Court is going to do. You know, the Supreme Court is going to be making a ruling here this month. Don't know what day this month that we're going to get it, but it's going to happen. And they're either going to let the bill stand, they're going to strike down all of it, or they're going to strike down a portion of it. And I can guarantee you that the Republican-led House is going to have immediate action to introduce legislation to fill the void. And I spoke just a few minutes ago about some of the kinds of health care reforms that I would like to see us implement. There is no question that we need health care reform, but we need private sector health care reform. We need to keep health care decisions between patients and their doctors, and we need to keep the highest quality, lowest cost, best access health care system in the world in place, not turn it into a European socialistic model of health care. So I'm glad you asked that question. Now let me answer your first question, because that's equally, I think, almost equally important. The trickle-down effect from the Marcellus and the Utica, that is coming. It's going to take a little bit more time to kick in, but I can tell you, I've talked to oil and natural gas companies that estimate that it's going to take 30 to 40 years to tap into the drilling process to go after this resource of natural gas, and tapping into the resource is just the first part of the process. You look at what's happening up in Columbiana County, a nearly $1 billion facility being built by Chesapeake. You look at what's happening in Harrison County, about a $500 million facility being built by Mark West. Halliburton is putting up a several $100 million facility somewhere between Cambridge and Zanesville. And there are numerous other companies that are bringing businesses and setting up operations in Ohio, along the river, eastern and southeastern Ohio. Information technology along rural Appalachia, Ohio, has always lagged the rest of the state. Not because of good companies like yours that's trying to take it to the next level. You guys are doing the right thing, but there just has not been the industry and the economic base to support that. What I'm saying to you is that it's coming. Demands for the kind of skills that you offer and the kinds of products and services that you offer, they're coming. I can't tell you the date, but I can tell you that if I were you, I would hold on to your hat and be prepared, because they're coming. Because companies, when companies figure out that they can put their manufacturing facility literally on top of a nearly limitless supply of power and energy to fuel their manufacturing processes, you're going to see a lot of companies trying to relocate into Ohio. And when that happens, they're going to need the kind of services that you have to offer. The other thing that we can do, and if you want to call my office, we'll be glad to help and assist in that. We'll be glad to introduce you to some of these oil and gas companies that are coming into the area, so that they know that you exist, so that they know that you've got products and services to offer to them and their employees. So I hope that answers your question. Hey, let me tell you how you answered the previous question that I asked you. We talked about the ban on gender-selective abortions, prohibiting mothers from aborting babies based on the child's gender. I asked you if you would have voted to ban this practice too, like I did. Over 93% of you, almost 94% of you said yes, you would have voted to ban that practice. I think that's what makes America unique. We place a great deal of emphasis and priority on the sanctity of human life. I don't think any country rivals America in our human rights position. So I appreciate you answering that question. Hey, this is Congressman Bill Johnson. I'm glad you guys are on the phone. Thanks for hanging in there with us. If you would like to ask a question, press 0 on your keypad, and we'll get you into the question queue, and you can ask your question, then you'll get you right back into the call.